Hi, everybody. We're just about ready to get started here. Just doing a sound check and making sure that the screen is showing up okay. And once we've got that, we'll get the show started. Hi, everybody. We're just about ready to get started here. Just doing a sound check and making sure that the screen is showing up okay. And once we've got that, we'll get the show started. Hi, everybody. We're just about ready to get started here. Just doing a sound check. Okay, it looks like we're just about ready to go then. So I'll just give it a moment and we start. Okay, it looks like we're just about ready to go then. So I'll just give it a moment and we start. Okay, it looks like we're just about ready to go then. So all right, here we go. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of the Newbie Nation Tactical Webinar Series. Now, if you haven't been here before, this series is designed to give you practical skills and insider knowledge that you can use today to get your business rocking. Now, this particular webinar is called Automatic Money, and it's all about why and how to use an autoresponder. So hi, everybody. My name is Bob McLean. I'm the head guy at newbiesystem.com and also of the Newbie Nation. Now, I'm going to give you a bit more info about myself in a minute, but first, let me drop a bombshell on you. If you aren't taking advantage of an autoresponder, you are missing out a lot. An autoresponder helps you reach more dollars and more people than anything else you do. It's that simple. Okay. And here's the thing. If you're not using it, you are throwing away customers and money. And okay, the second one here about from Wayne Gretzky talking about missing 100% of the shots you don't take. Here's the kicker on that one. Not only do you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, but you miss 100% of the shots you don't even know you should be taking. And that's what we're going to try to fix tonight. And if you're not using an autoresponder, you're just simply working too hard for your money. Now, a little bit later, I've got a major deal for you and a gift, but we're going to get into that a little bit later. So right now, let's take a look at what we're going to be talking about tonight. Okay. We're going to actually, we got to level set a little bit because we're going to have some people who've used them or heard of them before and some people who haven't. So let's just make sure we're all on the same level here. And we'll talk about what an autoresponder is. And we're going to take a look at how the autoresponder and the sales funnel fit together. And then we're going to take a look at making more money and helping more people using the autoresponder to get it done. Now, we are live. We're doing this live. If you've got some questions, we want to hear. Now, on the screen, you should have a box where you can actually enter the questions, or if you prefer, or if maybe you're out somewhere on your phone, something small, send us an email to questions@newbiesystem.com. And if we can't get them on the air during the show, we will get them answered. All questions are answered. So just to go back to where we were before, an autoresponder is so important here. And I want to show you how to get a whole lot more money out of your business and a whole lot more people that you can help. So now, before we really get rocking here, now's the time for me to tell you a little bit about myself. Okay, this handsome fella that you're seeing right here on your screen now, that's me. Again, my name is Bob McLean, and I am the head guy at newbiesystem.com in the Newbie Nation. And I am unabashedly a tech nerd. I have a lot of years of history in the tech industry and in IT. And here's one of the interesting things. I started off my career right out of school with my bachelor's of computer science degree, right into hardcore technology in the data centers, working with the big machines, no other humans around, and I liked it. But now, as all people in IT do, I moved around a fair bit, first taking new jobs and then moving out on my own as a consultant and an entrepreneur and taking on new contracts all the time. And I didn't notice this as I was going through my career, but looking backwards, it is absolutely obvious that every job I took and then every contract that I took after that moved me one step further from the machine and one step closer to the human beings. And I've basically come to the end of that now, and I am now I would call myself an extreme power user now. And by that, I mean, I no longer care about whether we've got the latest versions of software on our computer, whether we've got all the bits and parts installed, and whether everything is up to date. I'm far, far more concerned now with leveraging the technology that we have in place and in getting the biggest bang for the buck with what we've got. And I can get pretty creative with all of that kind of stuff too. So this webinar tonight relies heavily on my IT background and my nearly 20 years, or actually a little over 20 years now, in the internet and web space, plus my user focus on all of this stuff. So that's why I'm doing this tonight, and that's why I'm the guy that you can talk to if you have questions. So I firmly believe in this next slide. There just simply isn't anything that you can do, any one thing that you can do that's going to develop more business and increase your impact on the community than getting your autoresponder and your email list going. Okay, of course, there are some tricks to getting your message out and getting it opened and read and acted upon. So let's talk about some of them. Let's take a look at some of the secrets involved here. You can't create a message that appeals to every last person. Okay, here's an example here. I'm an ice cream maker, and I've got my little shop that I'm selling my ice cream in, and I noticed that my customers are split. I've got some customers that like chocolate ice cream. I got some customers that like strawberry, and I got some others that like vanilla. And then you've got the crazy ones that like the tiger tail and all of that, and the bubble gum and all of that kind of stuff. So being an entrepreneur, I think, hey, I'm going to create my new kind of ice cream. And I put a little chocolate, a little strawberry, a little bit of vanilla, good old vanilla, some tiger tail, some Oreo cookie. And so I can mix it all up. And now I've got an ice cream that's going to appeal to every one of my customers, right? Wrong. I've got an ice cream that everyone's going to look at and go, I don't think so. So you have to decide, what flavor do your customers want, and stick with your message and the flavor that's going to appeal to one group of customers, or in this case, your perfect customer. That's actually very, very important. Now, the second secret, one of the things, and I'll mention it later in this webinar as well, is that good copy, good writing skills are mandatory. Google now slams websites that have poor writing on their pages. So maybe it's grammar mistakes, maybe it's spelling mistakes. If if your skills aren't up there, if the quality of your writing isn't up there, you are going to get docked and you're not going to be able to make it high on the Google lists. Now, that's a website, but it also applies to emails and to messages that you send out. If you haven't used good English, you're much more likely to be seen as spam. And then you can send all the messages you want. Nobody's going to see them because it's ended up in their spam bucket. And then the third secret that I wanted to talk to you about is, this one is one that kind of, I'm not sure why, but it resonates with me. So that's probably because I've been guilty of this myself. Unless your name is Tony Robbins, no one knows who you are. Okay? If nobody knows who you are, nobody cares how good you are. What they care about is what you can do for them. They're listening to radio station WIIFM, which of course stands for What's in It for Me. So sell the benefits. Sell the great things that what your service or your product will do for them. Okay? So yes, at some point, people are going to want to have some level of comfort that you know what you're talking about, but only once you've gotten them excited about working with you or working with your product or your service, and how well, what a good job you're going to do for them, what benefits you're going to give them. So now, I think of, I'm going to use website analogy again. I think of sites, so many sites that I've seen that I call trophy websites. And they are, you see, a lot of professionals fall into this particular trap, but it can happen anywhere, where they can say, and I've got this degree and that degree and all these certifications, and I've won these awards, and I've done all this great stuff. What the problem is that makes them feel important. It makes them feel like they're very special people, which is good. We should all have a good opinion of ourselves, but it doesn't tell the visitor to the website or the reader of the email what's in it for them. So they're kind of left to figure out for themselves what all this stuff means to them. So instead of starting with, I'm awesome, start with, we can reduce your cost by 50%. We can increase your uptime. We can do whatever. And then that's the message that's going to get people excited. And then that's when they're going to say, well, is this person real? Can they really deliver on that? And that's when they're going to want to see all of your accolades. So get it in the right order. All right. So let me ask you a question. How do you sell your big products and services when no one knows who you are? Think about this one carefully. When you see something online that looks interesting, do you happily plunk down thousands of your hard-earned dollars and give it to a stranger? I mean, I sure don't. And the larger the cost, the more careful I am. Now, everybody has a personal limit. If the cost is higher than their limit, and mine is somewhere just below $200, I simply won't buy. I need proof that the vendor can deliver the goods before I'm going to hand out my bucks. So let's start answering that question with the basics. So what is an autoresponder? Okay, now autoresponder, big long words. You know us techies like our big long words. Don't let it upset you. Don't let it rattle you. It's an email list. It's an email list and a couple of tools to help get messages out to that email list. And that's pretty much all it is. Now, I'm going to drop in a very important point here that we'll talk about a little bit later, but here is the main reason behind why an autoresponder is so important. Many studies have shown through the years that it takes the average person 7 times hearing a message before they're ready to buy. So how many times are you asking them to buy your product or service? If it's less than 7, you're leaving stuff on the table and you need an autoresponder. Okay, so let's take a look at what an autoresponder consists of. Well, the first thing that most people see when they show up for an autoresponder is this little form here, sign up to our list. Okay, now this page consists of a few pieces here. At the top here, we've got a call to action, join our list. Simple, right to the point. Now, we've got a little bit of writing telling it what it is they're joining, and then we've got a giveaway. We're offering them a gift for joining our list. And I'm going to talk more about that in a little bit, but that's actually a very important part of getting people onto your list. Now, below that, you'll see there are two fields that we're asking our users to fill in to join the list. Now, these two fields represent the least amount that they can enter and still be valid on the list. And we do that because the more hoops we ask them to jump through, the less likely they are to sign up. So the rule of thumb is to ask the minimum amount of information that you need to keep the maximum number of people joining your list. Okay, now, you can, and in some cases, you need to add more fields. So for example, if you're signing people up for your cooking classes and your recipes, you may need to know if they've got a food allergy. So there are times when extra fields are needed, but the rule of thumb is put down the minimum and the minimum that you need and go with that. Okay, and then finally, the instant access button on the bottom. It's bright, it's easy to find, easy to click on here. It invites people to click on it. So that's what people are seeing, and that is the beginning of the whole show. Now, the next thing that people see after that, or should be, is an opt-in email. Now, this is something that has come in over time. Autoresponders used to have it as an option, but now I'm saying you need to have it. Okay, so in the US, the CAN-SPAM laws to help keep down spam email, it is an opt-out type of system. So in other words, if I meet you somewhere, if I pick your card out of something, if somebody else says, hey, you might be interested in what I've got, I can put your name on my list and send you email. As long as I identify who I am, I identify my company, and I also clearly identify what the email is all about. And then finally, a button, a single click button to allow people to opt off my list or out of my list if that's what they choose to do. As long as I do that, I am meeting all the CAN-SPAM requirements. In Canada, the CASL legislation, the Canadian anti-spam legislation, is an opt-in program. So I am allowed to send you just one email asking you to join my list. And anything beyond that is considered spam. If you haven't asked for it, I can't send it to you. So it's a lot more rigorous. And so this opt-in list or this opt-in message is absolutely critical to be able to show and prove that people have agreed to be part of your list. And by the way, as I say, the U.S. law is to prevent and protect against spam email. The Canadian law is designed to protect and covers electronic messages. That can be email, that can be text, that can be phone calls, that can be chatting on a social website. If I start telling you on Facebook about my product and service and asking you to buy, and you haven't given me even implicit approval to do that, then I'm spamming you. So this is really, really important. But the good thing is there's actually a little bit of a silver lining behind all of this. So you remember on our sign-up form, we promised them a free thing if they signed up. Well, lots of people want the free thing without signing up, so they'll put in a bogus email address hoping that you're going to give them the freebie. But the opt-in message goes to the email that they've given saying, it looks like you've asked to join this list. If you really did, click here. And it's only once they click that opt-in link that they actually get the document or the object or whatever it was that you've offered to them. So there's your silver lining behind it. Now, once they're in your list, there's a couple of things that you can do. One of the most powerful of them is timed messages. Now, okay, again, this is an email system. We're just sending people email. And so these timed messages are nothing more than email, but they have got a timer attached to them that basically tells them to wait until X number of hours or days after the previous message before this one goes out. Now, one of the other things that these messages allow is customization. So remember, this message is going to be going out to hundreds, thousands, tens, hundreds of thousands of people, however many you've got on your list. So the optimization or the customization allows you to say, hi, Bill, hi, Steve, hi, Rajiv, hi, Susan, and then give the rest of the message. And there's a few fields that they offer. So it's good stuff. But the whole point behind a time message is it's timed. They are metered in terms of how they go out. So here's what it looks like. So this is a list. This is out of Aweber, one of the tools, and we'll talk about it later. And this is a list of 5 emails. And you can see down the left-hand side, here's the numbers 1 through 5. This is the order in which the messages will be sent. And the next column over is the title, the subject line of the message. And underneath it, you can see buttons that you can click to edit your message or send a test, whatever it is that you need to do. But the main point here is the subject line. Now, moving to the right again, now you get into the timing. And you can see that this first message about your webinar registration gets sent immediately. So what that means is as soon as the person clicks on the opt-in message saying, I do want to be part of this list, they're going to get this email. All right. Now, there's a couple more fields after that, which can be very useful here. The spam score and then the opened list. So basically, there's a little bit of code that goes out with your email so that if you've put a link on there to send them to a page on your website, a video, an offer, whatever it is, when they, okay, there's, sorry, I'm going beyond where I wanted to go here. If they look at that title about your webinar registration and they click on it and they open the message to see what's inside it, that's when you get that open counted. So you can see how effective your email has been. The spam score, there are different systems. Some of them go 0 is the best, and then the higher you go, the worse it gets. And some of them have a perfect score is 10, and it deducts points for spam-like content. And once your score has gone too far below 10, then it's considered spam. And that's the point, is that the spam score basically gives you the likelihood of your email arriving in the inbox for somebody and not their spam bucket. So that's really important. And now there's a whole bunch of things that go in there, and some of them are technical, but most of them relate to the content. So if you have free report written in capital letters with 3 exclamation marks after it as the subject of your email, there is absolutely 0 probability of that arriving in their inbox. Putting the word free is bad. Having the word, things capitalized is bad. Putting a whole bunch of exclamation marks is bad. And there's a whole bunch of stuff like that. So what happens in these systems is when you get a spam score, and you can see the 1, 2, 3, fourth one down has a spam score of 1.9, that's still pretty good. But if I, in the real system, if I clicked on that, it would tell me where I got those spam points. And then I've got an opportunity to fix them. So, and that's what this thing looks like. And you can see, okay, the first message gets sent immediately. The second message about no traffic, no product gets sent 4 days after the first one goes. And the cool thing about these timed messages is that the timing all depends on when the person arrived on my list. So that if you had a list and I joined it today, then my timer starts today, and I get the immediate message, and then 4 days from now, I'm going to get the no traffic, no product message, and so forth and so on. Now, if somebody joined your list next year, their timer would start then, and they would start with the first immediate message, and then the no traffic, no product 4 days after that. So it's all depends. And now here's the cool thing. I've seen people with over a year's worth of email, so that once people are in the mailing list, they're selling to these people automatically for a year. Okay? So whether they're asleep, whether they're on vacation, whatever the heck they've decided to do, their autoresponder is selling to their prospects for a year. Pretty awesome, right? So let's take a look at the other kind of messages that are available. The second kind are called broadcast messages, and these send an email to your entire list at the same time, one after the other, bing, bing, bing. And this is used for events that are rooted in time, like this webinar, for example. I sent out messages to my list saying, we've got a webinar coming up, come on out. Doesn't matter when the person joined my list. It might have been yesterday, it might have been a year ago, but the event was tonight. So I wanted everybody to get that message, and that's what the broadcast messages are for. So I've got timed messages so that I can filter out, dribble out content and offers for however long I want to, and I've got broadcast messages for the here and now. And that is the basics of what an autoresponder is and does. So let's take a look at some of your choices out there. And these are only a few. There's a lot of them out there. But let's take a look at some of the popular ones. Okay. So these two are, I'm calling them the low end. These are your basic autoresponders. Now, MailChimp, it's free for small lists. And then the price goes up a little bit if you've got a huge list, but it always starts free. And this is a very stable, sturdy, robust, basic autoresponder. It has all those pieces that I just told you about. You can put your messages in, you can time them, you can broadcast them. Basic service, but it's done well. Aweber is another lower cost solution. It's not free. It does cost, but it's a good service. It has better editing tools so that you can create easily create more interesting looking emails than you can with MailChimp. And it also has very basic campaign tools. So if I've got, say, the launch of a new product coming out, I'll create a full campaign around that's going to involve multiple messages and perhaps multiple offers. And I can, in a rudimentary way, I can keep track of how well my campaign is going, not just how well my individual email went. So that's what you get for that little bit of money that you pay there. Now, if you're looking for a little bit more in terms of capability here, one of the most used, most popular mid-tier products is called Constant Contact. Now, this one adds to the nicely formatted emails. This one adds customizable email templates. They'll do it for you. You can do it yourself so that you can create emails with your look. It also has more capability in terms of handling messages that come back. So whereas the first ones are designed for outbound messages only, Constant Contact does have some ability to collect information and allow people to say, you can talk about various things that you have available, and if they'd like this report, that report, whatever else, people can actually request it and get it downloaded. So again, a little bit more automation, a little more capability, and it also adds a little bit of customer management capability. So we now get their name and their phone number so that we've got more of the contact information in there. Moving up, we get into the high-end stuff. Infusionsoft is, by a long way, the star of the high-end autoresponders. This is, in fact, it's not even really an autoresponder anymore. It's something called a CRM, or a customer relationship manager. And it has a full suite of capabilities, and it's fully capable of managing and keeping track of all of your contact with customers and prospects, whether it's emails that you've sent, whether it's emails they've sent you, whether it's phone calls. You can keep track of all of your sales and marketing collateral, and you'll know what this customer prospect has asked for, what you've sent, and you can keep track of all sorts of stuff that way. So you have a full 360-degree view of your customers and prospects. And that's what it is that you're paying for. And there's also some intelligence built in for decision making, so that if people have asked for this, not that, then I can give them messages that relate to the areas that they're interested in, and not bother with the stuff that they haven't asked about. And that's what makes Infusionsoft so powerful, is that customization and that ability to handle and keep track of the entire customer management process. Now, the other tool here is called Marketivity, and by a company called Mosaic. And it too is, it's a new product. It does not have the customer base that Infusionsoft does. It has the full CRM. It keeps track of all of the customer interactions, and it's very powerful that way. Now, what Marketivity has brought to the table is a very comprehensive amount of statistics and analytic information in terms of what your customers are interested in, or your prospects were interested in, what they liked, what they didn't like. And it can also track responder actions. So for example, if you've sent people to a video, for example, or you've given them access to a document online, you'll know who actually went there, who opened the video, who opened the document, and how far through that video or document that they got. And on top of that is, once a person has finished the book or finished the video, you can assume that if they've watched it to the end, if it's a video, they're actually interested in what that video is talking about, and it gives you the opportunity. In fact, you can automate this so that if somebody gets to the end of the video, then you begin sending them particular messages that relate to the subject matter in the video. That might be additional information. It might be a product or an opportunity, whatever it is that you want to do. So it's for those kind of capabilities of managing and tracking response that Newbie System, the parent of the Newbie Nation, has entered into a program with the Marketivity folks, where we've now got available the Marketivity program in 3 different flavors. The all-in flavor is not only, they basically, everything gets done for you. The sales funnel is created, the messages are created, the sales campaigns are executed on your behalf. It's all done for you, and it's all based, and you'll get the stats, and of course they use the stats to hone the messages as well. The next step down from that is a do-it-yourself version, and that is basically all the same tools that the full version does, but you're now doing it yourself with support. So you can have people check your messages. You can have support looking at what you've done in terms of your sales funnel and all of that great kind of stuff, but you're doing the work. And then finally, and this was one that we're very pleased with, is that we have worked with them to create another level below that, which contains, instead of containing the full suite of stuff, it contains a core of the autoresponder plus the analytics that go with the autoresponder. And then you can add on if there's any particular features that you want or need, and leave the other ones off. And so we're very pleased to have those choices. And Newbie and our partner company, Shazam Websites, we're there to help with training and execution the whole way through it. So if you're wanting to find out more about the Marketivity program, drop us a line, maybe to questions@newbiesystem.com, and we can set up a presentation for you, even a trial. You can see the incredible power of these higher end tools. So let's take a look at where the autoresponder fits in this whole sales funnel process. Okay, well, simply put, at the top. Now, here's the thing. You need to offer something worthwhile in exchange for people's name and their email. See, it's not really free. They're selling their name and their email for something of value, and so you want to create or buy or get something of value, and we'll talk about that very, very shortly. And the autoresponder kicks off. It begins to auto sell. And it's still always there. And what you want to do, and here's the process that you go through online as part of people joining your list, is you offer them something free. If they've said yes to the free thing, offer them something inexpensive. Okay, so they've said yes to the free, to selling their name and their email. So now a good percentage of them will probably pull out their credit card and say yes to something inexpensive. Now they're in the yes mode, and they got their credit card in hand, so that you can offer them one of a more expensive product or service that you have in your arsenal, in what you have available to people. Maybe it's coaching, maybe it's a product, who knows. And then the thing that so many people miss, you want to have as the top end, or the last step in your automated sales funnel, is your all in, everything included, soup to nuts, kitchen sink included, a high-end deluxe package that costs a lot of money. Now, we're talking $20,000, $30,000 for this high-end product. And you might be saying, well, that's just crazy. Who buys that kind of stuff? And to which I will answer, there are people out there that buy it. Not many, but a few. So if you haven't taken the shot, you're not going to score. So put it on your list. You may get down to 1 out of 100, 1 out of 1,000 that will buy that top end. But how many $30,000 sales do you make in a year before it becomes a really happy year for you? So put it in there, because you just never know. Just because you wouldn't do it, just because maybe it's out of your budget or in, but you wouldn't spend that online, that doesn't mean that everybody else has that same that same feeling as you do. Put her in there. You just never know what is going to happen. Now, one of the other things that we say is have a website. You want a website. The website is going to brand you. It's going to show you as being the expert. It's going to be a place where you can showcase products and services. You can do it without it. You really can, through joint ventures and affiliate programs and whatnot, but it's easier to get going if you've got a website. So do it. Get yourself set up that way. And we can certainly, through Shazam Websites, help you with that as well. And here's a bit of a clue for you. We're going to be talking about that towards the end. Now, I've been talking about getting free stuff out there, and there's this is a really important thing here. Okay, I've mentioned this. People sell their names, and they need to see the value, and they need to get them on your list. You can't say, hey, if you join my list, I'll give you a link to the really funny cat video I found yesterday. That's not going to work. They've probably already seen it, but there's also no value in it. So that's not going to help. You need to have stuff of value. So where do you get that? Okay, actually, before I ask that particular question, is what do they want? Well, to know what they want, you need to, well, you need to know who your ideal customer is. What does your ideal customer want? Now, you do know who your ideal customer is, right? Now, if you don't, you got to figure that out ASAP. That is so incredibly important to know who your perfect customer is, because that's who you want to sell to. Now, and now, if here's something for you. If you don't know how to figure out who your ideal client is, let me know. I've gotten some feedback on this subject, and people have asked for this, and as a webinar to talk about figuring out who your ideal customer is. And give me some feedback. If there's enough interest out there, I'd be delighted to create a webinar to help people find their ideal customer. Okay, now one more thing. I'm not picking on anybody here, but you got to find something of interest, and they don't know yet who you are. So sorry, folks, if you are a coach, a consultant, or another person offering your service, offering people a free 30-minute session with you isn't going to have the traction you think it will. They don't know who you are, so they don't know what the value of your time and your consultation is. Okay, so when you, and especially if you're consulting, you say it's free, but what people say is, yeah, it's free, and what you're going to do is sell me something at the end, right? Well, and that's right, but so they don't see it as free. So here's an idea for you. Instead of featuring a 30-minute consultation with you, give them a free report, an infographic, a video, whatever. And that's what the free thing is. And then as a bonus, give them the 30-minute consultation with you. And that way you get they get to find out what an awesome coach or what an awesome consultant you are, without you having, with a higher opt-in rate, because they saw the value in whatever it was that you gave them. So where do you get free stuff? Now, there's a few places. Now, you've also obviously got your own stuff, samples of your program, videos of you in action if you've been speaking somewhere. And then you can get into special reports, free access to events, anything that you can think of that you think, and not you think people would find of value. Ask people, ask your friends, ask people around you, saying, hey, if I gave you the opportunity to get this free, would you like that? Would it be of value to you? And the answer is, whatever their answer is, that's what you can go with. All right. Now, I've included 2 websites at the bottom here, and these are pretty awesome lists. So places to go. So Fiverr.com, you can see that Fiverr is spelled with 2 R's. Basically, you can get stuff. People will do stuff for you, provide you with stuff for $5. Unbelievable. Now, if you ask for something fast or something a little bit more complex, it may get above $5. But I've had wonderful success with great stuff without paying more than about $30. So it's a great place to go. And I'm going to talk a little bit more later about PLR and MRR stores. PLR stands for private label rights, and MRR is master reseller rights. You can get these in the store. We'll talk about them in a little bit. They are incredible sites for finding reasonably good stuff for very, very little money. And it can, I'll talk to you later about it. You don't want to use it exactly as is, but it is a fantastic quote unquote cheat to get you to having some nice quality free stuff very, very quickly and inexpensively. Now, we've got a question here. Do you own the names on your list? The answer is yes. You do own the list. They have, especially with the double opt-in, they have given you permission to contact them. And if they ever change their mind, they've got a link to opt out again. But they are yours. And as long as you've followed the rules, you can email them with opportunities, content, and everything else, and it's A-OK. Now, Brent here was asking about analytics and with the autoresponder. So I want to know, you know, out of the say 1,000 people that I've sent the message to, how many opened the message? How many clicked on the link in the message? Which link did they click on? When they got to my website, did they stop at the page that I sent them to, or did they continue to browse on? Once they were there on my website, did they, how deeply did they look at the material? Were they interested in one thing over another? There's a whole bunch of information that I can now track what they looked at, what they visited, what they didn't visit. There's even some technology within the Marketivity system that if I've got a page with an offer, I can tell how far down the page they went before they lost interest and clicked away from my site. So there's an awful lot of information that I can use to hone my message, hone my products, and to find where the real interest lies in everything that I've done. So the analytics are basically taking the stats and generating actionable information from them. So that's what that's all talking about. Okay. And here's a question. What happens if you don't have products that are really expensive? Okay, so sorry here. I'm just getting some. So what happens if you don't have products that are really expensive? That's the question. Okay. Then, okay, two things. Get them. Put your stuff together in a big package, or joint venture. And we can talk a little bit more about that in a bit. But if you don't have high-end products, or at least if you don't have a high-end product all by yourself, take a look at the people that you know, that you've seen, maybe people that you found online that have products or services that are complementary to your own. Okay, if you're selling hot dogs, find somebody who sells buns, somebody else that sells the condiments, and put together a package with everybody's stuff and sell that as your high-end product. So it doesn't have to be all your own stuff. You know, maybe one day it will be, but today, joint venture and fill that need. So those are awesome questions. Thank you for those. Now, great content does not mean a 1,000-page epic book with testimonials from the top 1,000 authors in the world, you know, and 5 stars from Oprah Winfrey. You don't need all of that stuff. In fact, great free content is probably, and it should consist of like 5 to 10 points that are going to help people immediately at a high level. So in other words, the 7 things that all entrepreneurs must do. The 6 things that stop people from reaching their success. And then create something very quickly and easily that, that has that information in point form. Boom, 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 boom. Actionable, done. Just like that. That's what people are really going to find of value. Now, you also want to pick something or create something that really does show you as the expert in this area. So if my area of expertise is floral bouquets for banquets, then I'm not going to send out a list of the top 10 tools that every carpenter needs to have. It doesn't make sense. I want to send something that shows me as the expert in that area, in my area of expertise, right? It also doesn't mean that you should be sending out a compilation of the 100 cutest kitten videos, because unless you're selling, you're selling or breeding cats, you probably don't want a cat video. Okay, if you send a video, make it watchable. Okay, the production quality must be good or better. You don't want to send something that's blurry or jittery or badly lit, or you can't hear it because you had your finger over the microphone. Okay, nobody's going to stick around for that. And here's the thing: a poor video, like poor production quality video, is worse than nothing at all. So if you're going to go out, it's okay to stand in front of a brick wall with your phone and say, "Hi, this is Bob McLean from newbiesystem.com. And the other day I was walking through here and it suddenly hit me." Boom. And I can give a message that way. That's great. That's trendy. And that works very well. But again, can't stand in the shade. If there's cars honking and police sirens in the background, it's not going to work. So just keep your quality up. Now, here's the thing. If I send somebody some information about putting together a good website, or how to develop a little video, it doesn't directly sell anything, right? But this is the point. If all I do is send, buy this messages one after the other, everybody's going to head for the exits. They're going to click the unlist button. They're going to opt out of my list, and I'm not going to have anybody to sell to. So you want to make sure that you've probably got 2, sometimes 3 content messages before you try to sell or the next opportunity or invite them to something. All right. So make it a good mix between nice content, which can be short, and your sales pitches. And that's going to increase your list and increase your bucks at the bottom line. So we talked about where to get your content from. And again, you can rely on your own stuff, your products, speeches, books. You can create short, and I mean short, video blogs. They're very easy to do. You don't have to write anything, especially if your written English skills aren't the greatest. Use video. And also you can bring in stuff that you found on other websites or stuff that other people have blogged about. Now, it says here, done properly. And what that means is that everything on the internet, everything on YouTube is public domain. So if I've seen something that you've written or a video that you've created and I like it, then I can take it. But what I need to do is I can't claim it as mine. I have to tell people, I found this awesome video over on this website created by so-and-so, and it really moved me. I thought it would be something you would be interested in as well. So that way I get to take advantage of something excellent that you've done to show to my people, but in the same time, I've promoted you. That makes it all okay. Okay, so here's talking about PLR and MRR. What this means is, and this is what's so cool about these things, is that especially PLR, private label rights, means that I can go into a PLR store, and you can do a search here, do a Google search on PLR store or stores, and I can look for something in my area of expertise, and you'll find lists of blogs, you'll find articles, you'll find books, you'll find all sorts of stuff, ebooks and written books and manuals and stuff in your area of expertise. And you'll be able to buy like a nice downloadable book for anywhere from, say $2 to maybe $10. The price is unbelievably low. And that's what makes it so good for creating free content. Now, one of the things that you got to watch out for, though, is that just because you've done your work, you've bought this product, this book that you want to download, that doesn't mean that 1,000 other people haven't also bought it for the same purpose. So when you use PLR content, then make it yours. Okay, put your name on it as the author. Change the title of it, change the font, maybe some colors, put your own pictures in it, and then it's ready to go. Make it yours, and then and that's what it means by make it your voice. So if it's written in very formal English, you're not that kind of formal person, loosen the English up a little bit. Or conversely, if this person has used a lot of slang, then you might want to, if you are more formal, you might want to change the slang for something more appropriate. And that way it makes it yours, and it makes it different from everybody else that's out there. So, and of course, the big thing that you're wanting to do is sell stuff. Now, what you want to do is you want to give people the opportunity to buy your products and services or attend your events. And that's where we're going to. We put the content out there so that we can now offer something to people along the way as well. You need to put in a discount or do something to create a sense of urgency. You need to buy this now. This is only available today. So don't wait, because the longer people wait, the less likely they are to buy. So put in a sense of urgency. And just like we focus the message on a particular ideal customer, you want to be very specific and have a single call to action. Now, you may have all sorts of products or services that you offer, and that's awesome. But when it comes to selling stuff, give them one option. Okay, today and today only, I have a sale on my new blue widget line coming out. If you buy a blue widget today, instead of the $199.95 price, you can have it for $23.15, but you have to do it today. There it is. Single call to action. Buy the widget. Done. Okay. The fact that I've got green widgets and yellow widgets and I have installation services for all my widgets, that's a conversation for another day. Today was, here's a blue widget on sale. Buy now. Done. So this question is quite similar to where you find free stuff or where you find stuff that you can give away for free. This is now where to find stuff to sell. And this goes to answer one of the questions that I answered already. Use your own products and services, of course, but always have your eyes open. Be on the lookout for joint ventures with others that are going to allow you to give enhanced products or enhanced services because your products or services dovetail so well. So, and it may be I'm a software developer, and I work with some people who either do websites or do implementation services at customer sites, and together we can create a product that is way more compelling. And you can still use the PLR or MRR sites, but in this case, what you probably want to do, if you're going to sell it, you're going to put a little extra time in it, and you may buy 2 or 3 or 4 of these very inexpensive items and put them together to create something with a little more heft to it and a little more content, and then you'll have a valuable product to sell. So basically, for both the free product and things to sell, you're only limited by your own imagination. So think about it. And if you need to, and you can bounce your ideas off of people around you. You should be part of a community of like-minded entrepreneurs. Bounce your ideas off them. Hey, I was thinking about doing this. What do you think? And people might go, I don't see that as being all that hot. Or, say, why don't you, instead of doing that, do it this way? That would give you more sales. You'll help more people by doing it this way instead of that way. And that's going to help you really refine that message. Okay, so that's great. This is what you do with people once you got them, but where do you get them from? And once again, you get them from all over the place. Live networking while you're speaking, social sites, go to local networking events, your website. You've got tons and tons and tons of places that you can go to. And once again, you can buy ads. You can pay-per-click ads, but you can also get your ads placed in newsletters. You can get them placed all over the place. And anywhere that anybody who'd be willing to forward your messages or allow you to put your business cards or pamphlets down, they all count. So there's no one place to go. You want to do it all. Okay? And one of the things that you can do is, I suppose it's a kind of a limited JV kind of arrangement here. But you can also work with people saying, I'll promote you to my email list and on my website, and you promote me to your people. And that's really going to help you get your word out farther. And the farther you can put the word out, the more people are going to stop by and fill your funnel. So that's basically it. Now, just one more thing here on your funnel, and this relates back to your ideal customer. Who are you after? Where are they? Are they local? Are they in the town you live in? Your country, international, continent wide? Know who your target market is, who your ideal customer is, because it's all well and good to have people in China all excited about your product or service, but if you're not working over there, not interested in working there, then it's all wasted. So don't waste effort by going places that you don't want to be, but do put the extra effort in to make sure that they know about you everywhere you want to be. And that's part of the statistics and the analytics, is to find out that kind of stuff as well. Okay, so there was a question about the PLR stuff, and that's, can I just buy content and put my name on it? Is this legal? When it comes to PLR stuff, you betcha. So if you go into a PLR store and you find a report, an ebook, whatever it is that you're looking for, and you say, this is what I need. When you buy it in the document or in the zip file, however it comes, there's going to be a certificate in there that gives you the rights to do whatever the heck it is that you want with that document. And that does allow you to change the author of the document. Now, that's the difference between PLR and MRR. Master Reseller Rights says, here is awesome content which you can sell or give away freely, but you can't edit it and you can't change the name on it. So that's the major difference between PLR and MRR. And you may find that there's some really awesome content and you don't mind having somebody else's name on it, because you're just getting the benefit of being able to give it to people. But if it's PLR, you have every right to put your name on it as the author. And do we coach people on how to set all of this stuff up? You betcha we do. We can do it for you, or we can help you do it yourself, whichever way you would prefer to go. And let me see here. Okay. Oh, when are you going to have the webinar on your ideal customer? Well, Tammy, good question, but I'm going to put you down on the side of somebody who'd really like that one. So once we've got it organized, I will be sending out to everybody, inviting them in. But if people are interested in it, it'll be probably in the next month or so, month to 6 weeks. All right. So that's it for now. Now, one of the things, here's one quick slide on Facebook. And here's a question for you. Have you personally ever bought something semi-expensive on Facebook? All right. Another question. Have you ever bought anything on Facebook? The simple truth of the matter is that Facebook is not good for selling things over $20. Facebook is good at helping you with brand recognition. So put your face out there, put your company out there, your logo and your events. It's not so much that they're going to buy, but people begin to recognize you. And then maybe you're speaking at an event, or you have a table at an event, or you show up at a networking event with your business cards, and people go, oh yeah, I saw you on Facebook. And it gives you that start to begin the discussion to get them to buy your product and service. So in other words, engage people on Facebook, but sell those people somewhere else. Okay, so whether you're talking to people or emailing them, you have a single point of, or single purpose to each contact. So again, when it came to email, we were talking about you send content or you offer them something. And if you offer them something, you're offering them one single thing. Okay, single call to action. What action do you want them to take? You want them to come to your event. You want them to join your list. You want them to look at this video. Whatever it is, there is one call to action for every contact. By the way, that's the same when you go to a live networking event. Go in with one thing in mind. Make that new contact, okay? Or to offer them one thing at the show. So anyway, I'm digressing there. So let's move on. Now, here you go. Here's one thing. Here you go. There's one single action that you can take. You can start today that will explode your business. Everything else, even an autoresponder, pales to insignificant to this one thing. Exactly. It's unbelievable how many people out there will tell you all about their great product or service or the amazing new webinar that they've put together, and they never actually ask you to buy. Ask for the business. Okay? Nobody buys without being asked. So ask. Okay? Then after that, it's all about the numbers. This is where you check your stats and your analytics. How many people, out of every 100 people that you asked, how many people said yes? Now, that's where we can now hone the message or try different messages to see which one is more or less effective. And we can hone that message until we get the maximum number out of 100 to say yes. Okay? That's where the analytics come in. So do your thing, check the details on how your message is doing, tweak it, hone it, do it again. Again, this is part of what Newbie does to help people. All right, we've kind of gone through this one already. You've got to have good copy. And again, if you don't have good copy, get somebody to do it for you. Revert to video as much as you can. Create video blogs instead of written blogs. Get around it somehow, but make sure that the quality of the writing or the quality of the content is good, high quality. It's best for the search engines, and it's also best for the people that you're sending it to. If they can't figure out what the heck you're trying to say or where you're going, they're not very likely to see you as the expert and buy what you've got for sale later. Okay, so again, through our Newbie and the business services that we've got, we do have writers, both content writers and ad copy writers. So if you're not sure where to go, if you don't know anybody that has good skills, we're finding that Fiverr hasn't been the best for us for writing things because so many of the people, English is not their first language. So you can find it, absolutely. But there are other places to find it as well. And as I say, Newbie, we do it too. Okay, and there it is. That's what we're talking about. Get the writing done well or find a way to do it without the writing. Now, just as we're kind of in a summary mode here, we've been talking about walking the sales ladder. You start with free to capture them on the email, offer them something inexpensive to get them in the way of saying yes with their credit card in hand. Go for your mainstream product or service, or you can even put in a couple, one after the other, and always end with something big, huge, and expensive. Don't expect to sell many of them, but you will be pleasantly surprised every time somebody does buy one. And okay, again, the idea behind the autoresponder is that we can present the same message or alternative messages to sell the same product multiple times to get to that threshold of at least 7 times we were presenting stuff. And that doesn't mean to say, hi, how are you? Buy my stuff. Okay, yeah, so not right now. That's fine. It was a really nice day out today, wasn't it? So why don't you buy my stuff? Not what I mean. You got to do it nicely. Now, here's the thing. You want to keep building your list. People come and they go. They join your list. Many of them join just so they could get your freebie and then they get off. It happens. So you keep building your list. Other people, they're not interested today in what you've got for sale. They get off your list. It happens. Keep building. Other people leave the business. Some people leave the country. People move. People do whatever. They come off your list. People evaporate off your list. Or people on your list, they're still there, but they don't buy. They're not responsive. Keep building your list. This is not something that you do once and stop. So just keep on going. And it may also be that you're going into new areas, new territories. Just keep building. Okay, just keep it growing. And you want the list to get as big as you can. Why? For this reason. The rule of thumb is that your list is worth $1 per month per email that you have in your list. Okay, now, as I put in red here, it's not automatic. You have to earn it. But that is the figure, that is the rough rule of thumb that people use to figure out how much money they can expect to make. So you got 1,000 people in your list, you can expect that, this person buys, that person doesn't, but every month you can expect to be earning $1,000 from your list. Not bad, eh? How about if you had 10,000 in your list? Would that be a nice little automatic bit of money for you? How about 100,000 in your list? Do you think you could get by on $100,000 a month just for sending out some emails? Maybe it's just me, but works for me. Okay, so how much, here's the question, how much business money are you missing out on by not having a list or not using your list properly? Okay, for most of us, the question evokes a yikes response. So we had a question about training a little earlier, and we can get into that now. Newbie offers a full set of business services, from message creation to social media management to website hosting and development. We're trying to create a full suite of products and services. In fact, we have a full suite of products and services to help entrepreneurs. And we have, as part of that, the Newbie Nation. And the Newbie Nation is our community of entrepreneurs. This is a community of people, like-minded entrepreneurs, going the same journey that you are. And that's so, so important. If you've ever tried to explain your business to family members, if it's anything like my family, they look at me blankly and wonder why I'm so crazy that I can't understand that having a job is what I'm supposed to be doing. So if you're looking for people who can talk to you about what they've done, and what works and what doesn't work, or if you've just, had your tail kicked, and they're not going to go, told you it was a stupid idea, you should just go back to work like you're supposed to. I mean, this is really stupid. If you're wanting people to go, hey man, that sucks, but don't give up. You're a good person. I love your product. You're going to make it. Just keep going. I know you can do it. Wouldn't that be a whole lot nicer people to be part of and with? That's the whole idea behind the Newbie Nation. Okay, we put new training in front of you every month, and we've got this whole supportive community of peers and experts to help you out. Now, this is an ugly slide. This violates all the rules of proper slidedom, but I just needed to put something down there to show you that there's a whole lot of features, a whole lot of benefits to the Newbie Nation. This isn't even all of them, but I just wanted to give you a full slide to give you some idea. Okay, we've got both items to help you move ahead, and we've got benefits to help you save some money, keep it in your pocket or purse. And I know new entrepreneurs especially can use that. So that's what it's all about, is the Newbie Nation. And we really are passionate about the nation and wanting to help as many people, as many entrepreneurs as we can. So to do that, I've got a deal for you. Now, the Newbie Nation costs $47 a month. And given the content and the access to experts and the whole community and the mastermind that gets developed from that, it's a real deal at $47 a month. But today, all right, this is my creating scarcity here. I'm creating the sense of urgency. Today, just today, pay just $9.95 a month. That's a $450 savings for the year. Okay. In fact, here's something actually, something that just a little bit of background. When we first put the Newbie Nation together and spoke to pricing experts about what we should be charging for all the stuff that we put together, the feedback was that at the low end, we should be charging about $97 a month. We didn't feel good about that. We wanted to go with the $47 a month, even against the advice, because it was just too much for new entrepreneurs to spend. So that's fine. Now we're offering $9.95 because we want to create a tidal wave of new entrepreneurs with new perspectives, new products, new opportunities to joint venture. So we want to get in a lot of people, help a lot of people to succeed. So that's what's so special about this. And there's another special feature about this $9.95. This is not an introductory offer. If you get in today, however long you stay in the Newbie Nation for the rest of your life, it's $9.95 a month forever. So you'll just keep on saving that $450 a year. I can't tell you how many, what the price is going to go to in the future, but as the price goes up, you're going to feel pretty darn good being locked in at $9.95 a month. Now, of course, just like, as you all should be doing, in addition to this amazing savings, we offer some bonuses. First month is free. Now, since it's only $9.95, you say, well, that doesn't save us a whole lot, but it does. It allows you to try the Newbie Nation for a month with no risk at all. So here's a no-risk way of getting involved in the nation, and check it out for yourself. Okay, so give it a try. There is no risk to you. And here, if that wasn't enough, let's check out bonus number 2. If you sign up now, we will give you a WordPress templated website worth about $500 and a full year of free website hosting. It's about $600 value. You pay nothing just for being a member of the Newbie Nation. And look at that down in the red. You once that website is created, it's yours. If you decide, in the next few weeks that you don't want to be part of the Newbie Nation, take the website. It's yours. So that's the value. So at this point, you've paid nothing and you're leaving with a website. It just doesn't get much better than that, does it? So, and we actually have one more thing that we want to add in here. I am, and I didn't even put this in the intro. I am the author of a recently published book, one of the co-authors. It's called The E Syndrome, the 8 Deadly Viruses That Can Kill Your Business and How to Cure Them. And this is a book designed for new entrepreneurs. It's written in a very fun, friendly, non-threatening way to help new entrepreneurs recognize the main things that stop entrepreneurs from reaching their success. And it helps them either avoid it or fix it if they find themselves in the middle of it. And it's a $32 book, and you're going to get it for free. And this is the actual book. So we're helping you on your way, and we're giving you free tools and resources to get there. So signing up today, you're going to save $450 a year for life. You're going to get a $500 website. You're going to get $100 worth of hosting. You're going to book $35 book. I mean, it's $1,200 of value for $9.95 a month. Wow. Okay. And I haven't even talked about the member benefits, such as a really kick-ass, maybe I shouldn't say that, insurance program, car rental discounts, health club discounts. We've got all of those things as well, and I can't even begin to estimate how much that's worth to everybody as well. So we have got a ton of stuff, and as I said, no contract. The website is yours to keep, but you can leave at any time. You leave, you're gone. The website is yours. You can take it with you, and there's never a no contract. So there's nothing to lock you in. Okay, so we wanted to make this no risk. I think we've done it. Call to action: buy now. See, one single call to action: buy now. do it tonight. Okay. And you can click on the, there should be on the side of the page beside you, there should be the link that you could just click on to go buy now and become part of the Newbie Nation, or you can see it right here on the screen. It's got it right in front of you. So do it now. Don't wait, because it'll cost you a whole lot of money if you wait. And that brings us to the end of the show. Now, I've got another question here. If you've got some questions, we're here. If there's anything that you haven't asked yet, ask it now. And again, you can either type it in on the screen, or you can send your questions to questions@newbiesystem.com. And just while I'm waiting to see if there's any more questions coming in, let me just point out that this webinar is being recorded. It will be available for everybody to take a look at. It'll be public for about a month, and then it goes in. Only the Newbie Nation members will see it in the archives. But if you got your questions now, great. If you don't, if you think about something tomorrow, any questions that we haven't answered in the webinar here, we do answer all questions. So just send us your question. It will get answered. Okay. Here's a question from Sarah about, I have an existing website. How can I benefit? Well, we won't create it. Well, we can create a new website for you anyway, if that's what you'd like, or we can take your existing website and transfer it over and give you the year of free hosting on your existing website. So it's your choice, whichever way you'd prefer to go. But we can definitely offer you the free hosting even on your existing website. Okay, I have no idea how to create a website. Can I get help? Yes, Sandra, you can. I don't know why. That just made me think of, yes, Virginia, there is a Santa Claus. I don't know why. My brain works that way. But yes, we can help. We have, some videos, some help. We have people that can help you build your website, or again, we can build it for you as you wish. But one of the cool things about these websites that we're offering for free is they're templated, and they'll step you through a process of you deciding what you want it to look like, and it actually populates the site with pictures and content. You'll see exactly what the website's going to look like, and they look really nice. And by the way, they're also, the technical term is responsive. But what that means is that whether you're looking at it on a PC, on a big screen, on a tablet, or on a phone, the website reconfigures itself to look good on any size of screen. That's all built in. And what happens is that it builds the full website for you, content and everything. And then your only job is to go in and tweak the generic content or replace it with your own words and your own pictures. So it makes it very fast and very easy to create a really awesome looking website. Okay. All right. It does appear that we are out of questions for the time being. As I said, send any new questions to questions@newbiesystem.com, and we will answer them. If you're, as I say, we've had a few questions here, a few people that are looking for additional help or services. Send that to questions@newbiesystem.com, and we will get back to you, and we will get you what you need to move ahead. So having said that, we've come to the end of our webinar for tonight. Now, I really want to thank each and every one of you for being here and spending your time. I hope it's been of value to you. And as I say, I am here as a resource. Please use me. Send your questions in, send your comments, or if you're looking for some help, let us know, and we will get that to you. We will help you out. Now, before you're done, sign up for Newbie Nation. Take your risk-free trial and see all the power and the benefits that are waiting for you in there. Okay. Now, just to let you know, the website you register separately after you become a member. So become the member, then the link to the website is within the member area. And you're going to see that it's going to try to charge you for your hosting. Here's the code on the bottom of the screen, free start 16, all with capital letters. You put that discount code in, the cost of your hosting drops to 0. Okay, so use that code to get your free hosting and your website. So having said that, I look forward to seeing you on our next webinar. We do hold these things on a regular basis. Check the newbiesystem.com website for details. So this is Bob McLean, head guy from newbiesystem.com, saying thank you for coming and bye for now.